play Bomberman backwards, it's about a chemistry nerd and cosplayer suffering from several mental disorders like pyromania, schizophrenia, severe depression, a persecution complex, and anger management issues, who ventured too far into the depths of a dungeon to escape from imaginary monsters like living water droplets or balloons, only to find even more terrifying abominations down there, like smiling murder-faced clouds that can go through panzer-thick walls, and who now has to go all the way back to the top in the hope the dungeon will let him leave, which it does, provided he wants to go from the top to the bottom level of the dungeon for some reason, straight into Murderface's embrace. The only way one can beat this game is to bomb empty corridors until rubble falls from the ceiling and blocks the monster's path. It is important to imprison monsters as far away from the character and to leave them as little room to move as possible, while trapping the character in the smallest space imaginable so that the many walls will muffle the screaming, wailing and wall scratching of the monsters. It is bad when the monster is trapped in the room right next to him. It drains the character's sanity and paralyzes him with fear, making him unable to proceed to the first dungeon level. He has to move as far away as possible, preferably into a corner. One of the reasons is that he can't kill them with bombs. They seem to appear out of thin air to feed on the energy of the blasts and then run around like they just had a crate of Red Bulls. The monsters are representations of his worst fears. Balloons suck up the air, making the fuses unable to burn and the bombs unable to combust. Water droplets put bombs out. Clouds make the air humid, seep into the bombs, ruining the powder, make the equipment and the mechanical elements of the bombs rust, etc. The nameless character detonates a bomb near a door on every level to make sure that the monsters won't follow him. It's even possible to make the door glow white of heat by long repeated bombing with dozens of bombs at once. That'll teach him to touch the doors. Once every few levels, he comes across a nightmare room where seemingly infinite hordes of fast-running monsters spawn out of nowhere and try to encircle Bomberman. Monsters that muffle the blast consume their energy and extinguish his bombs. His only solution is to run around in an attempt to win time and hope they'll go away, like many of his other hallucinations. In the course of the game, Bomberman gradually runs out of resources, which causes him to plant less and less bombs, which also have an increasingly shorter range. In the end, they're more of a joke, and the thing the character will kill faster than anything else is himself. If you wonder where Bomberman gets his bomb material from, the answer is simple. The dungeon was once a mine. The amount of resources on the lower levels is high, but their amount on the higher levels is pretty low, since the mine has been operating for a longer period of time, which explains why Bomberman is only able to plant fewer and weaker bombs on his way to the top. Why a mine? It is rumored that Bomberman is a failed prototype of Bombman, a robot master from an early Mega Man game, whose purpose was the creation and maintenance of mining tunnels, but the prototype proved too unstable, too unreliable, and too much of a hazard to the miners. Since no one could get close enough to disable him, he has been driven into the mine and his entrance was blown as shut behind him. That's how he gets from the top to the bottom level so fast. He probably steps and falls into an obscure mining shaft. The reason he wants to seal himself away in the corner of the uppermost level is because there's nothing above him, and it protects him from several sides while still giving him the ability to go back the way he came from, in the case something from the depths of the maze finds him there. The objective of the game is to survive until the timer counts up to the required amount of time. Don't ask, it's an obsessive-compulsive thing. He feels safe if he manages to count to 250 or whatever the hell his magical number is. Ironically, the franchise is as dead and forgotten as its protagonist. The series will be sorely missed. It raised a whole generation of pyromaniacs. Now, with no venue of expression, they descended into listening to black metal and burning churches. Not necessarily in that order.
What happened? Someone set up us the bomb. We get signal. What? Main screen turn on. It's you.
How are you, gentlemen? All your days are belong to us. You are on the way to destruction.
What you say?
You have no chance to survive, mate, your time. Ha ha ha.
like smiling murder face clouds that can go through provided he wants to go from the top of the bout, provided he wants to go from the top of the bout, provided he wants to go provided he wants to go from the top to the bottom level of he wants to go from the top to the but make him as far away as possible. They seem to appear out of thin air to feed on the monsters are representations of your clouds make the air. That'll teach him to he comes across a new night. In the course of the game, Bomberman gradually. In the course of the game, Bomberman gradually runs out of. Which causes. In the course of the game, Bomberman gradually runs out of. Bomberman. And I think that the character, if you wonder where Bomberman gets his Bomberas, the answer to dungeon wants one, Bomberman is only able to plant fuel of mining tunnels, since no one could get, he has been down driven, since no one could get close enough to disable him, and its entrance was blown shut by the behind. Since no one could get close enough, protects him from several sides while still giving him the ability. The objective of the game is to survive until the kid. It's an obsessive. Or whatever the hell his magical number is. Ironically, the franchise is dead. And the word will makes no sense in because